On behalf of the people of Aruba, Island Guide proudly welcomes you to our One Happy Island. In this program, we'll take you on a tour and tell you all you need to know about our little tropical paradise. Take a look around me. I'm standing on one of the beautiful beaches of Aruba for which it became famous and probably the reason why you're here. But Aruba has so much more to offer. Join us as we go on a tour of culture, history, nature, and tips and tricks to make your vacation a once-in-a-lifetime experience. On this channel, you'll also get 24/7 weather updates and information about your hotel. If you'd like to know more about what you've seen during the program, visit our website for more information and contact details.
Aruba is located in the southern Caribbean Sea, separated from the mainland of South America by just a narrow body of water. The island is only 20 miles long, and at its widest point, it's a mere 5 miles wide. It is the most western of the Leeward Islands, also often referred to as the ABC Islands. Aruba was formed about 100 million years ago as a result of underwater volcanic eruptions. The hardened lava, rich in minerals, was soon covered in a great variety of corals and limestone sediment. 40 million years later, the upward motion of the Earth's crust and drastic changes in the sea level thrust the landmass up above the ocean surface. Over time, erosion by wind, rain, and seawater shaped the island's surface, leaving behind a steep coastline with tall cliffs and little coves on the north side, while the south side is flat and calm.
About 1/3 of Aruba still consists of volcanic rock. However, nowadays, the majority consists of limestone. A rare type of this stone is found on the Hooiberg, or the Haystack Mountain. Geologists discovered it is made up of a distinctive type of quartz diorite, a rare type of granite only found here in Aruba. Because the Hooiberg mostly consists of this type of rock, it was named Hooibergiet. The hill is 547 feet tall, and these 562 steps make it easy to climb. When the weather conditions are good, you can see all the way to the Paraguaná Peninsula in Venezuela.
Another perfect example of the great beauty of Aruba's diverse geology is the Casibari Rock Formation. Spread across the island, you'll find many stunning rock formations, formed in prehistoric times and shaped by the elements over time. Aruba has what is known as a savanna climate. Compared to a tropical climate, there is less rainfall, yet the average humidity is still around 76%. Thanks to the constant gentle breeze from the east, the so-called trade winds, it never gets too hot. September is the hottest month, followed by the rainy season from October to approximately mid-December. Heavy rain showers can show up unexpectedly and are often very localized. While on one side of the island it comes pouring down, the other side may still be completely dry and sunny. Though it's called the rainy season, the sun still dominates the weather most of the time. There are several theories about the origins of the name Aruba. The most probable one is the combination of the native South American uru, canoe, and ubao, referring to the native migration from the mainland to Aruba, which is how the island was first populated.
Aruba was inhabited thousands of years before the beginning of the Christian calendar. Native Caribs from South America spread across the islands of the Caribbean. The first inhabitants were the semi-nomads who lived off fishery. Later, the Arawaks had more permanent forms of shelter and also practiced agriculture. Archaeological finds and petroglyphs in caves remind us of our native heritage. Numerous of these drawings date back as far as 1,000 years BC. Some of the most impressive drawings are found in the limestone caves at the Arikok National Park.
The Spanish conquistador Alonso de Ojeda was the first European to set foot on the Leeward Islands in 1499. Because the Spaniards were quite small compared to the natives they encountered there, they named the islands Islas de los Gigantes, Islands of the Giants. In the 17th century, while looking for a new hub for their merchant routes, the Dutch claimed the abandoned island of Curaçao in 1634, and 2 years later conquered the neighboring islands Bonaire and Aruba from the Spaniards.
The Arubans have always fought for their independence. After a long and arduous political battle, the Dutch kingdom recognized a separate status for Aruba on January 1, 1986. Aruba has since been an autonomous territory within the Dutch kingdom with its own flag and anthem called Dushitera. This is celebrated annually with a national holiday on March 18. In 1824, a real gold rush ignited in Aruba after a shepherd discovered some gold on the north coast. The search for gold continued for decades, giving Aruba a much-needed prosperity boost. There were two main gold mining plants in Aruba, Bushiribana and Balashi. Nowadays, Balashi is known as Aruba's national beer, carrying its name. The gold industry ended shortly after the First World War, as the mines became outdated and there was lack of dynamite and raw material to extract and purify the gold. Ruins of the gold mines still exist and are open to the public. You can visit Miralamar at Arikok National Park, Bushiribari at the North Coast, or Balashi at Spans Lagoon.
Aruba played a prominent role in the global oil industry of the 20th century. At its peak in 1952, an astonishing 2 million barrels of crude oil were refined here. The flourishing industry brought employment and economic welfare to the island, and very soon there was a shortage of qualified workers. Thousands of foreign laborers from various backgrounds were contracted, enriching our culture with their local customs and traditions, many of which are still visible to this day. The best example is the lavish carnival, introduced by immigrants from Trinidad. Today, Aruba has over 100,000 inhabitants of more than 80 different nationalities. Most Arubans are a mix of native South American, African, Latin American, and European ancestry. Compared to the other Caribbean islands, the standard of living is relatively high, and the island is known for its warm and friendly people. One of the most commonly mentioned reasons why visitors return to the island again and again.
Aruba's native language is Papiamento, and it's only spoken here and on the neighboring islands of Bonaire and Curaçao. It is still very active and in constant development. The word Papiamento comes from the Portuguese word for babbling. It gradually developed into a full-fledged language with its own grammar and vocabulary, acquiring Dutch and English influences along the way. Even though many Arubans speak English, Dutch, and Spanish, it may come in handy to learn just a few words in Papiamento.
Bambini. Buon tardi.
Conta vai.
Mita bon.
Pasa buen día.
Mi nombre es Diego.
Buen día. Buon tardi. Buon noche.
Mitushi.
The official currency is the Aruban guilder or florin, but the American dollar is also widely accepted. The guilder is linked to the US dollar, so the rate between the two always stays the same. 1 American dollar is 1.79 florin. For easy conversion of local prices, divide the price in florin by 2 and then add 10%. All major credit cards and traveler's checks are accepted. Please keep in mind though that you might be required to show a picture ID and that some stores don't accept $50 or $100 bills.
I'm standing at one of the many Catholic churches in Aruba. Faith and religion play a huge role in our community. The Catholic Church, introduced to us by the Spanish, has the most followers, where 80% of the community is Roman Catholic. The Dutch brought Protestantism to the island, and in the 20th century, immigrants brought several beliefs to our small island. Tourists are welcome in churches, prayer houses, and temples, and services are given in papiamento unless otherwise specified. If you want a real taste of the local culture, then you must definitely try the local cuisine. Like here at the Zay Rovers restaurant, where chefs prepare the most delectable fresh seafood and fish.
Oranjestad is a charming cruise port, a busy shipping port, and a cozy marina all in one. The small town offers something for everyone. Visit the historic City Hall, explore the nightlife, or take a ride down the shopping street on the brand new downtown trolley. The trolley runs back and forth between the cruise port and the center of Oranjestad, providing easy access to, among others, the National Archaeological Museum. This gorgeous historic townhouse in the center of town has been fully restored and is a sight in itself. The beautiful floors, original features, and stained glass windows alone make it worth a visit. Inside, the museum is an impressive state-of-the-art facility that you might not expect to find on a small island like Aruba. Amerindian cultural heritage and history are interactively displayed, and archaeological finds can be admired in real life. Oranjestad is also home to the Zoutman Fort, Aruba's oldest building, built in 1798 to protect Aruba against pirate invasion. The Willem III Tower next to the fort was built in 1868. First serving as a lighthouse, it was later converted into a bell tower. Its antique bell clock still strikes every hour. The building now houses the Historic Museum, displaying a permanent collection of Aruba's history, including various utensils from different periods.
Explore Oranjestad. Enjoy a wide range of shops, museums, restaurants, historical buildings, and monuments that this enchanting capital of Aruba has to offer.
Aruba has a rich and diverse flora and fauna. You probably already encountered one or two of the many lizards and iguanas that call our island home. They come in different colors, shapes, and sizes, and can be quite cheeky, being accustomed to cohabiting with humans in urban areas. The Spanish introduced new species to the islands, influencing the local ecosystem. Over time, the domesticated goats and donkeys they brought with them grew into a wild population. Their uncontrolled grazing drastically changed the flora, with the most common remaining plant species being cacti, dividivi, aloe vera, and mangroves. Let's start with the mangroves. These are of paramount importance to the ecosystem, especially for the sea life along the coastline. Larvae and small fish find shelter among the dense tangle of roots until they are large and strong enough to venture out into the open ocean. In this way, mangroves protect the biodiversity of local sea life.
Aruba has very limited rainfall, and only certain plants can survive the barren circumstances. In the dry season, Aruba has a grayish-brown appearance with only the cacti maintaining their green color. During the rainy season, thirsty plants absorb every single drop of water they can, turning the entire island into a lush green landscape within a matter of days. There are over 500 different plant species on Aruba, but cacti take the lead when it comes to quantity and diversity. They come in all shapes and sizes, ranging from tall tree cacti to small spherical cacti. The most common one being the kadushi, which can grow about 13 feet tall and is used as an ingredient in local dishes such as the kadushi soup. The famous dividivi tree is a true Aruban icon, our national symbol. The tree thanks its characteristic shapes to the constant trade winds that blow across the surface of our island. The tree grows along with the direction of the wind. The tannic acids of the tree's fruit once played an important economic role, a substance for tannery of animal skin into leather for footwear and other applications. Another species closely associated to Aruba is the aloe vera, a succulent plant with various medicinal properties, introduced to the island from Africa by the Dutch in the early 1800s. Its introduction brought great impact to the economy, as Aruba soon became the largest exporter of this miracle healing plant. Before long, 2/3 of Aruba were covered in aloe plants. Nowadays, most of them are still in use. Visit the aloe factory near Hato and learn the fascinating story about how this little succulent plant from Aruba conquered the world. Attend the various harvesting demonstrations and even visit the Aloe Museum. Before we go on to the next subject, let me share just one more tip about Aruba's diverse nature with you. Visit Aruba's Butterfly Farm, a lush tropical garden featuring butterflies from all over the world. Come early in the morning, and if you're lucky, you might witness the butterflies emerge from their cocoons and make their first flight, a unique photo opportunity suitable for all ages. For more information, visit islandguidearuba.com.
The sparkling white beaches of Aruba are world famous. You can join the bustling beach life with a Caribbean party atmosphere, but you can also enjoy endless peace and quiet. It all depends on where you go. Some beaches lie in cozy coves, carved out in the rugged limestone coastline. Others are wide and extensive stretches of white sand bliss. Whichever coast you visit, the view of the Caribbean Sea is always breathtaking. Here are some of the options.
To start you off on the right track, this is Eagle Beach, a long and wide stretch of sandy beach so extensive that you can even encounter deserted parts where you can still enjoy the bliss of solitude. A few months a year, Eagle Beach becomes a breeding ground for turtles. To mark and safeguard these nests, marine biologists place safety nets around them. When it's time, turtles emerge from the eggs at dusk. The sight of hundreds of little turtles faltering and somersaulting their way to the ocean for the first time is an experience you'll never forget.
Baby Beach is another great location to spend the day. This crescent-shaped beach on the edge of a shallow lagoon is located in Cerro Colorado. Before 1984, this area was known as the Colony because the management and supervisors of the Lago oil refinery used it as a gated community. The bay runs out to the open ocean and is protected by a strip of rocks. Just off these rocks is a specially marked snorkeling area featuring countless tropical fish and a splendid coral reef. The most popular beach in Aruba is Palm Beach. If you want to immerse yourself completely in a world of fun and excitement, this is definitely the place to be. Palm Beach is a stretch of soft white sand of more than 2 miles and home to many of Aruba's luxury high-rise hotels. Along the waterline, you'll find lively piers featuring beach bars, live music, restaurants and shops. In addition, the beach offers a wide variety of water sports, from adventurous fast rides to relaxing sailing trips. At Palm Beach, there is something for everyone. The calm waters also make Palm Beach a comfortable and safe place to swim. These are only a few of the many beaches you can choose from. For more information about other beaches, check islandguidearuba.com.
There's lots you can do near, on, and under Aruba's crystal clear waters. Go on a fun boat trip or rent a canoe and paddle through the mangroves. If you want something more active, go windsurfing or kite surfing, and don't forget about the wonders that await below the surface.
Over the past few minutes, you've become acquainted with only a few of the magnificent sights and attractions that our one happy island has to offer. But there is still so much more. One of the absolute highlights is the California Lighthouse.
The California Lighthouse attracts many visitors on a daily basis. It was designed to alert approaching ships of the treacherous waters of the northwestern cape of the island. It was named after SS California, a ship that sank off the coast of Aruba in 1910. Nowadays, the old stone California Lighthouse still stands as a silent watchtower at the Hudishibari, located on the northwestern tip of the island. Built on higher ground, it offers magnificent views toward the eastern part of Aruba. Sunsets here are magnificent, making late afternoon the best time to visit the lighthouse.
Until 2005, the Natural Bridge was the most popular and most photographed attraction in Aruba. With an impressive length of 98 feet and a height of 22 feet above the water, the Aruba Natural Bridge was the longest in the Caribbean. Unfortunately, it collapsed in 2005 after withstanding the relentless forces of the elements for thousands of years. Today, its remnants still stand as a reminder of the incredible powers of nature. A smaller version of the Natural Bridge, affectionately called Baby Bridge, is still intact next to the debris of its former big brother. A must-visit during your stay in Aruba is San Nicolas, the city deemed Aruba's next cultural capital. Each year, more and more stunning murals are decorating broken-down buildings with colorful art pieces that keep brightening up Sunrise City. Discover this mesmerizing street art and soak up the culture of Aruba. To ensure you can make the most out of your stay, we will give you some tips and tricks that'll help you on your way on Aruba. In case of an emergency, call 911. The sun is the most fierce between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Make sure to wear sunscreen or sunblock with a high protection factor and to drink enough water throughout the day. The intense heat can dehydrate your body quickly, so make sure to drink at least 2 liters of water a day. The traffic in Aruba is safe and the attitude is relaxed. On right-angled intersections of equivalent roads, the traffic coming from the right has the first right-of-way. Please note that T-junctions are an exception to this international rule. At a T-junction, the top of the T is always the preferential road. Also, keep in mind that the speed limit on the traffic signs is indicated in kilometers and not in miles. The roads can be quite slippery during and after a rain shower. And when driving in the countryside, also mind the wild goats and donkeys that can suddenly cross the road. Taxis in Aruba do not have meters, as rates are based on the destination rather than the actual mileage and are set by the Aruba Department of Public Traffic. The prices are per taxi, not per person, and a maximum of 5 passengers is allowed in each cab. Tipping is not mandatory, but nonetheless highly appreciated. A tip of 10 to 15% of the total tab is customary. In most hotels, as well as in some restaurants, a service charge will already be added to the bill. In that case, it is not necessary to tip extra.
Thank you for watching Island Guide. I hope the things I've shared with you today will make your vacation a once-in-a-lifetime experience. For further information regarding anything you've seen during the program, go to islandguidearuba.com. Get all the details you need to map out and plan your sightseeing trips and fun activities. We'll be seeing you out and about. Have a great vacation. Ayo!